Hey there. Thank you for coming and joining us every week with our Be Encouraged moments, you
Absolutely.
two.
We love it.
We absolutely love it. I know, you're probably sick of us saying it, but that's too bad because we're going to say it every week. We really do love this. Today is a time where I want to talk about being cold. It's cold.
So
We're smack dab in the middle of winter, and it's cold. Even though we live in Phoenix, Arizona, our winters are much shorter than my family who lives in Maine, and
Probably a little bit milder.
Yeah. So, but this morning it was 39 degrees out when my husband went to start my car for me. It was awesome. But so what do you do when you're cold? Well, I will say what I do, and I will get jackets and sweaters and sweatshirts and just bundle up big time. Yeah. I have this electric throw that I started using a few years ago. It is a lifesaver, and if the house is a little bit cooler in the morning, I just sit on the couch with my legs sprawled out and my blanket on, and it's so warm, and I'm sipping my tea, hot chai tea, and it's just wonderful. I get warm that way. And then my youngest Yorkie, Jace, he is just like me. Tim says we're two peas in a pod, and it's true. He doesn't like to be cold. So as soon as he sees me pull up the blanket, the electric blanket,
he's in.
He jumps up on the couch and he snuggles in, and he kind of wedges his way in between me and the side of the couch. It's awesome because his tiny little body is so warm, and he's a snuggler, and I love that. Another huge thing I'm so blessed to have. I'm sorry if you don't have them, but in my car I have heated seats. Oh my goodness. Yes. Best invention right there.
I don't have them.
Hands down. I'm so sorry. But they are awesome because not just the seat, but it kind of comes up, half of my back. It is so amazing. So if my back is achy, it's just is wonderful. But that helps. They also have these inventions, and I know my family back east and other places of the country, Montana, they're going to say, well, that's been around for a very long time. But when Tim and I go snowshoeing and go up and play in the snow, they have these little hand warmers you put in your gloves.
They're so nice.
My goodness. And they last like 8 hours or more, and they just keep your hands toasty warm because I don't like it when my fingers and hands are cold.
Yeah.
The other day, maybe yesterday, I was in at work and my nose was cold. My nose always gets cold.
Yeah,
My hands, the fingertips, I'm just cold. I just couldn't get warm until it was like 3 o'clock, and I finally started getting maybe a little bit warmer. But I don't like to be cold, bottom line. Don't like to be cold, like to stay where it's warm.
Yeah.
I'm going to switch gears a little bit.
Just a little.
We are living in a world of hurt right now. And I can go so far as saying that we're colder than ever. And it bothers me. It's so sad that things have changed. I think the fear of COVID and make sure you're 6 feet apart, you don't hug people, you don't, and you stay away. We teach our children don't talk to strangers for fear that they're going to get kidnapped or whatever the situation is. There's a lot of cold-hearted communities, and then I see someone giving the cold shoulder to someone, and that hurts me because I'm like, oh, they don't really deserve that.
Yeah.
So I'm posed with the question of how can we bring the warmth of God into people that otherwise don't see God or the Lord at all in their lives. And I think one of the huge deals, the huge acts that we can do is just show them kindness.
Yeah.
Show them that we care. Show them that we matter. I know Larissa was talking on the podcast that was her word, and that was she just needed to know that she mattered. And people are acting as though we don't matter. And whether they really believe that or not, probably not, but they're doing what they're told to do and not paying attention to other people. So I think what we can do is just have our little antennas up, and she's really, really good at this. The other day, she just showed kindness to a coworker who was in a meeting, and she heard something that, kind of was taken the wrong way. And she was hurt by it, and you could tell right straight away. The guys in the room didn't even, that was a guy thing, I guess. They didn't even realize it, but Larissa did, and she came out to her desk, and she just kind of consoled her and encouraged her. And I think that made her feel a lot better, I will say that. But that's the kind of thing that we can do if we notice, if we pay attention. And I think that's really, really important in our world today, this cold-hearted communities that we live in. What can we do? Someone has a baby, well then maybe share something, buy that baby a gift and give it to them, or just be kind, care for others, and let them know the love of Christ through you. And you don't have to preach at them. That's the best thing. That's something that Larissa and I have said straight on, right as soon as we started this. We don't want to preach at you. We just want to show you the love of Christ through our actions, through our words, what we're all about. And hopefully people will understand that we're different. We kind of want what they have without understanding. And then that opens up to conversations. So if you are noticing that we live in a cold-hearted world, that things are just dull and drab, and people are depressed, and things are getting really bad, people are dying, and that's a hard thing to grasp, especially when it affects your personal family. And just to be there for someone to say, you know what, you may feel alone, but I can assure you, you are never alone. God is always there. In His Word, He tells us He will never leave us alone. And He's there. We're here. We'd love to hear from you. And even if you don't feel like you want to send a prayer request to us, to our website, please know that we are still praying for you. Absolutely. We pray for those who are watching our YouTubes. We get a lot of little comments, and we'd love to hear your comments if you're able. And, just love to just share the love of God. His mercy and His grace and His compassion is so enormous that we want you to understand the joy that we feel.
I think one of the things you can think about when you're thinking about this topic is that for me, I live a life of what I hope to receive from someone else. And what I mean by that is I want to know that I matter. I want to know that I'm loved. I want to know that, I want people to treat me kindly. So if I expect those things, isn't it reasonable that I should do those for others as well? Mm-hmm. And I think Jan touched on this as well, is this idea of keeping our antennas up. Right. Look at the whole situation. And you actually touched on the baby topic. And a woman who's just come home with her newborn baby, everybody fusses over the baby. That's so easy to do. That's the obvious thing. But what's the less obvious thing? The mama. Mm-hmm. And so take the opportunity to tell her how beautiful she looks, right, and how good she's doing and what an excellent mother she is, or whatever the case may be. And I think it's stepping back for a second to look at the whole situation and not the very obvious piece. And that's how you bring that kindness and that warmth into our community again.
Right. Our whole ministry, Be Encouraged, is surrounded by encouraging others. Yeah. I know that you know that, but we want to encourage you to do just that. If you're feeling blue, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling a little cold, separated from the world, then we want to encourage you. We want to share with you the love of God. And then, like just what she was saying, if you've been through that, you know what that feels like, and you sense somebody else is in that place, do that. Yeah. The same act of kindness and love.
Well, and kindness pays back. I mean, over time, if you are constantly putting yourself in a situation where you're showing kindness, it's easy for people to show you kindness.
Right, right. So show someone the warmth that is needed so desperately in today's world that we live in. And if you live in the Arctic or someplace where it's really cold, go ahead and buy yourself one of those electric throws,
Yes,
because
do.
they're amazing, or for your bed, electric blanket. Enjoy your hot cup of coffee or cappuccino or chai tea, which keeps my hands warm when I hold on to it. We love being here, and we just really do want to encourage you. So be encouraged. Thank you for joining us for our Be Encouraged moments.